Hey guys, back here with another hot take just after the Scotland-France game, and man, what a game. What entertainment was that. If the World Cup's going to be anything like that, then we're in for a hell of a treat. Wow, that game at Murrayfield was really so entertaining. Game of two halves like this morning again. France going up 21-3 again before the break, and Scotland coming back to win it at the end there. Wow, just simply wow. It was really, you couldn't ask for more in a rugby game. And well done to Scotland for winning that one. I think for Scotland, to win that game like that at home at Murrayfield was essential. France made a lot of changes, 13 changes from the team that won the Six Nations. So, it is essentially their second team, but what depth they have. French rugby is in an extremely good place at the moment. I don't think we can argue that, and if they get it right, we can all be very difficult to beat them at the World Cup as well. It's really a great French team, and we're in the golden era. If you look at the under-20s as well, golden era for French rugby. But can they handle the pressure of the World Cup? That would be wait to see. Still, that group of theirs with New Zealand that game is going to be epic at the World Cup. But anyway, let's go back to this game. Scotland. We're a bit worried because we've been told the whole time, everyone's talking about Ireland, South Africa the whole time in that World Cup group of death, but Scotland are also in that group of death. And today showed that they're going to be more than a handful for the Springboks, and I think the Springboks need to be wary. They already are wary of them. Rossi Erasmus said already earlier this month, and he said it a number of times to us, everyone's talking about Ireland, but the team that they worried about, the Springboks, is Scotland, because if they lose there, then the World Cup becomes a huge lottery for them as well. So, I can understand that. It's a huge game for the Springboks, their first one in the World Cup. And judging on today's performance, Scotland have got more than enough talent to trouble any side at that World Cup. And they're getting to become they didn't have a great first half, and France produced some of their wonder tries from nowhere. But just to come back and with 14 men after losing Xander Ferguson, and I've got to feel for him a little bit on that one, because I think those accidental head clashes, although he did launch himself into the ruck, so he probably has got no excuse there, but I always feel for players when there's a head clash. Saying that, to come back with 14 men and come back from behind and win that, and also have a try disallowed, was exceptional from them as well. So well done, Scotland. I'm sure the Boks have taken a lot of note. You're going to be more than a handful at the World Cup, and I think we all know that as well. So it's going to be a tough game for the Springboks. But okay, let's have a look at this game quickly. A couple of things on this hot take. The moment that mattered, it's hard to say. The steal at the end there, right at the end in the 80th minute. France were pressing for the victory. They were in the 22 of Scotland, and that steal by Rory Dodge, that was the moment for me. Look, I suppose the try by Dave Cherry was probably the one that sealed the game for them. Blake Kinghorn's try was disallowed, but what a game by them as well. MVP, well, it's an easy one, I suppose. Man of the match was Blake Kinghorn, and what a game he's had. We've seen how good he's been against South African sides in the URC. What a game he had at fullback, and knowing that he can come in and fly off, especially with somebody like Flynn Russell there, that gives him two attacking options. He's big, he's tall, he's the type of guy who's not shy under the high ball, he's physical as well, so he's really an all-round great player for them. And that's the one thing the Boks can really, Scotland can really rely on there. And when you have a playmaker like Finn Russell, to have somebody else like that in the back line is simply exceptional. And I think with their wingers, Duan and Darcy Graham, they've got a lot of attacking options there as well. So Blake Kinghorn's my man of the match, the MVP for this game. Then the unsung hero, I try and do that for there's a lot of French players that did well, but the one that stood out for me was Cameron Wacky. It's great to see him back in action. He's going to be a handful at the World Cup as well. And don't be surprised if he becomes a huge part of that French pack again, like he was. He's an impressive player, and he's finding his form again, and he was everywhere on the park today. Takeaways, well, for Scotland, I think winning the game was the most important. They've got their momentum, they march on, and I think they know that they can come back from tough situations. Plus, they beat this French side. That'll give them even though it's not the first choice French side, that will still give them a lot of confidence. Yeah, they know they're going to go into a big physical battle with the Boks, and they stood up pretty well in the physical battle, especially when they're down to 14 men. That scrum of theirs held exceptionally well. VPNL had a great performance there, and of course Piers Kumman's try. I mean, there's a lot of South African influence in that side, and it's hard not to like them. But they're going to be a handful for the Boks. Scotland will be very satisfied with their performance as well. France, I don't think Fabien Galtier he'll be disappointed in losing the game in terms of that momentum. But the way the French pack stood up in that first half, the way they created tries out of nothing, their running angles, there's a lot of confidence in that side, and I think he's got a number of players put their hand up today. A number of players would have shown him that they're there for the World Cup, and a number of the players would have shown them that he can, if they get an injury or two, if he needs to bring somebody in for a specific game, he's got them there as well. So yeah, that's my hot take from that. Let me know your thoughts as well. This is literally 5 minutes after the game. Obviously, if we sit down and analyse a bit more, there'll be a lot more things that come up. But it was a very entertaining game and great to watch. And yeah, let me know your thoughts below. Chat to you soon. Cheers.